Hey, what's going on, everybody? It looks like my microphone, or my webcam, is just going insane here. My apologies, guys. Bear with me just a second, we'll get that fixed. Wow. Properties, configure video. Again, my apologies. Don't know why it's choosing to do that, but it is. There we go. All right. Yeah. Thank you very much, Stream Elements, for dropping that in there. Um, yeah. So actually, guys, this stream is a warning. Um, I don't know if many of you check out my man Jamoa, Jaamoe on Twitch. He's actually pretty fun to hang out with, and today we were playing some Apex Legends, which, as you guys know, that's a rarity in and of itself. Hey Jamo, and speaking of the man of the hour, there he is, Jamo. Hey, Juan, all day. What's going on? So, my apologies, guys. I'm putting this out here. J-Mo. Oh, I'm so sorry, man. I'm putting this out here because right now, YouTube is not being very cooperative. I did not want. YouTube is not being cooperative right now for me to upload videos, so I'm kind of putting this as a warning, especially to my fellow Canadians. So J-Mo and I were hanging out. We were playing some Apex Legends, and honestly, we were doing pretty good. I actually got kills, and J-Mo can attest to that. And then I heard some banging, like just weird banging that was not normal. So I pull off my headset a little bit, and there's somebody pounding on my front door. And I go and I look, and okay, it stops for a second. I see my roommate is checking it out, and he's trying to figure out what's going on here. And what abomination? That is a little griffin, a baby griffin. It's the representation of my daughter on our logo, actually. But yeah, I go and I look. Be nice, dude. Come on now. I go and I look, and I try and find out what's going on. Right? And okay, well, I'm going to kind of focus on getting this out because, this is kind of an important warning. I go and I look, and there's two guys from a company called Easyhome. Right? So people ask, what's Easyhome? Easyhome is a rent-to-own place. And a while ago, my wife had entered into an agreement with them where she was the only person on this contract, right? And she fell behind and was working out an arrangement with the district manager, who, by the way, is like higher up than a store manager. Just to establish a hierarchy, it kind of goes like employee, shift supervisor, assistant manager, manager, district manager, and then keeps going up from there, right? And this store manager is like, well, I'm a store manager. And I'm like, that's nice, like my wife was trying to make arrangements with your district manager and had something hammered out, and then you threatened to take her to court, so all communication is supposed to stop. Right? Now again, I'm not listed on this agreement anywhere whatsoever other than I'm authorized to talk to them if my wife is not available, and of course I can help make payments. Pretty standard stuff. Anybody actually can make a payment on your behalf, which is interesting. So, kind of getting back to the premise, this guy stares at me and he's like, you, and then he asked me if I'm my first name, and I'm like, yeah. And he's like, you need to let us in. We're here to get our stuff. And I'm like, I'm not on this contract, and this is, my private residence. I don't need to let you in, and I'm not going to let you in because I don't like how you're being hostile and demanding entry into my private residence. And he's like, well, blah, 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 you have to let us in. And I'm like, no, I don't, and I'm not comfortable with your hostility. I have a 2.5-year-old child in the house, and the way you're acting makes me very uncomfortable. I'd appreciate it if you'd leave. You threaten to take her to court. It's supposed to be settled in court. Please leave. I go to close the door, and he starts to barge his way into my house. Now, I'm a pretty mellow dude, I used to get in my fair share of scraps, but I've mellowed out a bit. I'm kind of like a big teddy bear. But this guy tries to barge into my house with my daughter on the stairway. Now, I'm not having this. All right, I go from nice, cute, cuddly teddy bear to nope, stone brick wall. And I place my hand gently on his shoulder, and I'm like, sir, you need to leave my property. Please leave. You're trespassing. I asked him 6 times to leave. He refused to leave. I closed the door. He starts banging on my door. I open it, and I said, look, dude, you need to leave. You're going to cause property damage. I'm not okay with that. He refuses to. Now, keep in mind, by the way, that this little prick has his big goon bodyguard next to him, too. So there's these 2 built guys and freaking fat old me, right? And I'm getting mighty uncomfortable at this point. And I'm like, look, you need to leave now or I'm going to call the police. So he continues regardless. And finally, I have no choice but to escort him off my property. So again, I place my hand on his arm and I said, if you can't leave, I'm going to lead you off my property. Right? And so I go to lead him off my property, and his buddy decides that's when he's going to place his hands on me, still on my property, mind you. And I'm like, nope, I'm done with this. I'm placing you under citizen's arrest. So I put the manager's arms behind his back, and I say, you have 2 options. I can place you under citizen's arrest, or you can leave of your own accord. But we're not doing this. That's when his big old buddy decides to put his arm around my neck, choking me. By the way, I do have scoliosis. So that type of thing, if you don't know what you're doing, that can cause me serious damage. And I suffer from PTSD and generalized anxiety disorder. That's instant trigger. Now, instead of snapping and throwing punches, which I'm surprised I didn't at this point, I hold on to his manager even tighter. Now, my neighbor comes out and he's yelling at everybody. He's like, everybody needs to let go of everybody. And I'm like, nope, this fucker is under arrest now. I'm done at this point, right? And I'm bringing him towards my fence gate so I can just basically shove these pricks out. Because, I got my daughter in the house. I got my wife in the house. I want these pricks off my property. Right? And again, this is a store manager. A professional, allegedly. And next thing I know, I got him on the other side. He comes trying to barrel through the gate again. My gate, by the way, is busted. It won't close because of these pricks. And his bodyguard starts to swing his hands towards my face. So I didn't wait for a damn punch to connect. I swung back. I missed. He didn't hit me. But then the store manager goes and hits me right here. Grabs my arm. Scrapes it against my fence, by the way. I don't know if you guys can see this. but right about there. You know, I got a stab wound as it is, and that's very thin skin. So it scrapes all of that. It's now all bruised underneath the skin. That's going to be a problem. I'm already having trouble with grasping and keeping grasped. The store manager punches me in the face. I swing back, and then he threatens to call the police on me. Well, I'm not having it at this point. I told him if he ever came back on my property, I'd kill him. Something I should not have done, by the way. Thankfully, it did not get me in trouble because it was heat of the moment. But this store manager of Easyhome actually goes and assaults me on my property, for Pete's sake. All for some freaking property that I don't have a contract with, that I don't owe any money on. And this is their business practice. Not to mention, 2 days before that, I found 2 more of his goons creeping around my front yard looking like they were just leaving my house. Because apparently my front door was unlocked and the roommate was gone, and I didn't know. And they looked like deers in headlights when I caught them, when I came around my house. After I gotten back from driving to the store with my wife and daughter. And the name of the company, again, is Easyhome. Go easy. I am warning you, do not do business with them. First of all, they charge ridiculous rates on things. I started looking over some of my wife's contract, and I mean, you know, they're making like $1,200 off of a fucking used switch that's damaged all the hell, for example. It's messed up. They threatened to take her to court before. That was supposed to be the end of communication, but it wasn't. And they assaulted me. Flat out punched me in the face for property that I have no responsibility for. Because Mr. Store Manager doesn't like being told no, he can't just go where he wants. All of this going down while poor JMO is waiting for me to come back to Apex Legends. So I had to call 911 just to get these pricks off my property. I didn't pursue any charges, but I did file a report because I am suing them, by the way. I am going to sue them. But yeah, I mean, who does that? Like, what kind of a business model is that? And they take advantage of people who can't afford to just drop like $1,000 on something or $500 on something, you know, but they have a need for it. So I mean, this is beyond messed up. Like, absolutely beyond messed up. And I mean, they advertise all of these cool things and all that, but they give you less than the actual manufacturer's build of these things. They charge you 4 times as much. I mean, these guys are just sharks. Stay far, far away from them. Unless you want to be assaulted by a store manager of Easyhome while at your own home for an account you don't have with them. MS, you're gonna have to check the VOD. I'm putting this here for now because YouTube's not working. But yeah, I mean, again, I'm chilling, I'm playing Apex Legends with JMO, and this store manager decides to clock me in the mouth on my own property. And the only way I could get him to leave was after I called 911, and the police told him that if him or any of his goons show up on my property, charges will be pressed by the RCMP, which, by the way, that's like the second highest police organization in Canada, aside from the Canadian, CSIS, right? Which is like yeah. And I'm making this video, by the way, as documentation of what happened while it's all fresh in my mind, When YouTube is working again, I am putting this out there, and I am warning every single Canadian, stay far the fuck away from these guys. Because they are not safe. They call and pretend to be Canada Post agents, which, by the way, is a government contracted job. So they falsely claim to be a government official, in essence, in order to try and get information about you. These are the practices that this damn company is engaged in. Easyhome cannot be trusted. They are not worth it. You can find better quality for a tenth of the price. Used on Craigslist. Just go anywhere, guys. But do not go through Easyhome, because you will be assaulted. And luckily, it was me at the door, because like I said, if it was my wife's gone through some things that would have shattered her. Luckily, my daughter was not closer to the door, or she would have been hurt. My 2.5-year-old daughter. My 2.5-year-old daughter was halfway down the stairs between the second floor and the first floor when these fucking goons decided that they were just going to take measures into their own hands for somebody who's not even on the damn contract. That's what Easyhome is. Go easy. Yeah, they'll go easy on you until you don't comply, and then they'll bully you and physically fucking assault you. This company needs to be shut down. Everybody needs to pull their money out of it. And nobody should ever go through Easyhome, Go Easy, or any of its subsidiaries ever again. Because these guys employ psychopathic, dangerous fanatics who will come to your house and think that they can legally assault you. Stay away from them. I am telling you, it is dangerous. And then they will stalk and harass anybody that you put as a reference. And I mean, they will call you 10, 15, 20, 30 times a day. They will call your place of employment. They will try and show up there. These guys are licensed thugs. And for your own safety, guys, because you know how much I care about you guys as my community. For your own safety, I am begging you. Warn your friends, warn your family members, warn everybody to stay away from this company. They are dangerous. They employ physical violence in front of minors. And they engage in illegal practices. Stay away from them for your own safety. Please. You don't want to be injured like me. You don't want to be assaulted like I was today. And as far as the higher ups at Easyhome, I will not go away. This message will not be taken down. I will warn every single Canadian citizen and every single person in every single country that I can where you run a business until you are shut down. You will not silence me. You will not stop me. I will warn people for their safety. This is not a slander. This is all true. I can back it up with a police report. And I will go after you to the fullest extent of the law, because what you did was criminal. It is illegal. That is not a business. That is a gang. That is organized violence. And I will not sit here quietly while you employ these tactics against people. You assaulted the wrong person. And I'm coming for you. Businesses like you have no place in our society. I will shut you down. Alright guys, I will be back in a little bit with an actual game stream. I'm DJ Spirit. Please guys, share this video, spread the word, protect the people you care about, protect your friends, protect your family. These guys are psychos. I'm DJ Spirit. I'll catch y'all soon. Later.